Hello and welcome to the Mage only Corp guide, back by popular demand because a lot of people wanted explanations of what I was exactly doing in the Mage Corp guide. So this is just going to be a quick audio rundown of gear and decision making. So since last video, I have added the Ring of Suffering imbued to my setup because I feel like it's roughly the same as Mage's Ring for DPS when you account for the recoil effect, but I do like the extra bit of tankiness. Requirements for this, if you want to run peak efficiency, max mage, Vernic treads, confliction gauntlets, full ancestral, etc. Obviously make one-to-one downgrades as are available for you if you would like to do this without max mage. Every little bit of mage bonus you drop and mage damage you drop is going to kind of drastically affect your ability to do DPS because of Shadow's 3x scaling. For this, ideally you want a Saturated Heart. You can use Forgotten Bruise if you want. A Cursed Scepter is nice but not needed. It helps by about 2 to 3% DPS. Eye of Ayak is 100% needed, so do not do this method if you do not have the Eye of Ayak. And ideally, you want Shadow. You can main hand Eye of Ayak during the main kill, but it is not going to be nearly as effective as Shadow, approximately 10% worse. So I bring the Mage's Ring as a swap for my initial spec down phase. Bring 2 games necklaces for quick teleports to the Corp Beast. Menu entry swap them so that the left click is Corp. Bring a Desert Ami for quick spec regen. I'm on Lunars with Vengeance. I do not bring Spellbook Swap and Thralls, although that is a potential upgrade you can bring. 1 Prayer Pot because the trips will last long enough with Karambwans that you might need some prayer regen. Crafting Cape to quickly teleport to a bank to grab more Karambwans because every once in a while you will need to teleport to the crafting guild and grab more Karambwans mid-kill. For food, you absolutely only want to use Karambwans. You do not want to use any sharks, moonlight antelopes, nothing. That is because Karambwans have a weird effect where they only delay your combat for 2 ticks, whereas something like a shark and a moonlight antelope delays your combat for 3 ticks. So when you're eating a lot in combat, you only want to be eating Karambwans because they are currently in the game the most HP per tick loss item you can eat. So I'm going to start out here. Use your Saturated Heart. Go in and use 1 Accursed Scepter spec here. And by use 1, I mean land. So I did not land there. And I'm just going to telly out to Narda. Regen spec, telly back. So we do this cycle until we land 1 Accursed Scepter spec. Not getting very lucky right now. It's all right. That's all right. The Confliction Gauntlets have a passive that makes this Accursed Scepter spec. Fucking choked. Accursed Scepter spec a lot more accurate. There we go. We landed. Now we want to land 150 eye damage. So this tracker in the top left went from 24 to 66. I just did an extra attack there. So you can surmise that you did 42 eye damage. Currently, I don't think there's a tracker that tracks this well, but I track the eye spec damage using this tracker in the top left. So that's 32. 32 plus 42 is 74. Goal is to get 150 eye spec damage in order to reduce its mage defense level to exactly 0. 46, so that should put us at 120. Need 30 more eye damage here. There we go. So now I'm going to switch the Ring of Suffering and cast Vengeance on CD. Anytime you're below your max HP minus 18, just eat a Karambwan. Literally does not matter when you're eating. And constantly run around. Ideally, you want to be at max range with Shadow here so that dodging that attack right there, that ground swirly, if you're dodging that, you take significantly less damage. And as you can see, when eating the Karambwans, I only lose 2 ticks of attack cycles, which is very, very useful for this specific situation. In general, in order to dodge the ground swirlies, I tend to run a little bit more than is necessary because I don't really want to react every single time. So I find if I can just, run 2 tiles away anytime I am attacking, it just kind of helps react. See, like there. When that ground swirly lands, you need to be approximately 4 tiles away. If you're 3 tiles away, you can get hit by the edge of it and take a little bit of damage. So just continue eating your Karambwans. Anytime you're below, for me, it's going to be 81 HP is the threshold where I want to eat a Karambwan. Cast Vengeance on CD. And that ground swirly attack operates in a little weird way where if you're on the center, when it lands, you're going to get hit by like 5 different hit splats. If you move off center for the tick it lands, you then have another few ticks to actually dodge the second round of explosions. So just shadowing it down here. I got kind of wrecked this kill, but it's not actually really going to matter because my specs were pretty consistent. And it's for this reason that this method actually averages out quite well. So I know I'm not going to die here. The only thing that could kill me at 20 HP right now is if I either see the light attack come through and it heals. See, it healed 8. I'm not going to die here. And there we go. Now I need a telly. I just fully ignore the core because I'm already running around a lot with this method. Doesn't really matter to me about killing it because I know I'm basically already dodging it passively when attempting to dodge the ground splats. So, as you can see, I ran out of Karambwans there. I just ran to the crafting guild, grabbed more Karambwans. It's a lot more effective than attempting to finish this kill out without Karambwans because you are going to be tellying a lot if you do that. When I get back here, sometimes I'll just drop another Accursed Scepter spec because its mage level will regen, so it's useful to just reapply that Accursed Scepter spec to take less damage and to deal more damage periodically throughout the fight. You do not need to reapply the Eye of Ayak specs because mage defense does not regen like mage level does. So, just continuing this, my heart's gonna wear out here in a second. Gonna reapply that on CD. So you can see, even though I took kind of a ridiculous amount of damage the first inventory here, I should still get a sub 6 minute kill here pretty easily. The heart timer kind of told me that I surpassed 5 minutes here, but should pretty comfortably push under 6 minutes here. Just gonna eat up. Sometimes you do just get wrecked. It is in the nature of Corp, but you can mitigate that as much as possible by having that Ring of Suffering and an Imbued Heart, because the higher your mage level, the higher your mage defense. There we go. And that it said it was a 519 kill. I don't fully believe that because my heart wore off mid-kill. Not really sure what was factoring into that, but now I will just do one more example kill and kind of show you the cycle here. So grab my 2 full games necklaces, re-equip my Magus ring, go Narda, re-get Spec, go back to Corp. And we start it off again. Again, looking for 1 Accursed Scepter spec, 150 eye damage. Hopefully we get better luck on the Accursed Scepter specs, and we do. First one landed. Now we just switch to the Eye of Ayak and get specs. For this, as I said, even if you're using Ring of Suffering for the main kill, it is useful to have Magus Ring during the specs because it's just higher accuracy. 33 Eye of Ayak damage there. Again, fully using this tracker in the corner. Not even entirely positive if that is a RuneLight plugin or the base game. If it is a RuneLight plugin, it's just the baseline Corp plugin. So we're at 33 plus 15, which is 48. I just add it mentally, but you can have a calculator up in the corner if you really want to. It doesn't fully matter. And I kind of suspect there is going to be a plugin that will track this better eventually. Currently at 100 eye damage. 40, so we'll do one more. You absolutely want to do the full 150 Eye of Ayak spec damage. Do not leave it at 140, 145. The way magic defense scales with this method is kind of absurd. And even leaving it a few above 150 is going to decrease your DPS by like multiple %. So as you can see, I reached that 150 barrier. Now I switch to Ring of Suffering, and we do same thing as last kill. Continually moving to dodge the ground splats. It's okay if you get hit by a few of the ground splats. It's not like the end of the world, but the more you dodge, the more effective this method's going to be. I have over 50% spec, so I'll dump it on an Accursed Scepter spec, because why not? It's literally just free damage. And one of the main benefits I like of this method over traditional Corp method is I just find that it's a lot chiller. You do waste the GP of Shadow. I find that with Lucky Penny, I waste about 70-ish Shadow charges per kill, which as an Iron Man, that equates to something in the tune of about 100k. I find that I tend to come close to breaking even with the loot and the Onyx bolts, so it's not actually as big of a deal as it sounds. The only other real consumables you're using here is a few games necklaces, maybe one per kill, realistically, and like half a prayer pop per kill. Otherwise, it's just Ring of Suffering charges and Karen Bonds. Not too big of a deal. So this trip is going a lot better than last kill because I did not get wrecked, kind of starting out and have to waste the majority of my food. So the core spawns, we completely ignore it because we are already running anyway. Re-up on the Saturated Heart the moment it drops off. Corp does occasionally drain your mage level, which is kind of annoying. I have toyed with bringing Forgotten Brew, even though I have the heart, just to re-up my mage level if it drops below 109. Absolutely not necessary. I believe it only drains if you get hit by the ground splat attacks. So if you are better at dodging those, it seems to be much more reliable at not draining your mage level. So I will point out, the last Corp kill ended when my Saturated Heart was at the 4-minute timer, and I have been keeping this 100% on cooldown. So we can assume that the Saturated Heart timer is going to be our best gauge for how long our kills actually are here. Just for anyone that doesn't necessarily trust the boss kill per hour plugin to actually track your kill times here. So we're currently only 5 minutes into this game. You definitely just got chance there. Doesn't actually matter if you die. It's kind of just a quicker bank to grab more Karen Blondes. So not really that big of a deal. I am going to telly out here, and because the boss is only at 100 HP, I'm actually not even going to grab more Karen Bonds here. I'm just going to telly out, telly back in, grab a Cursed Scepter, and double spec. And it should basically be dead here. More attack. So that looked to be about a 6-minute kill for 100 teak planks. And that pretty much sums up the guide. Hope hope you guys liked. If you liked, please subscribe or leave a comment if you have any questions, anything you'd like me to address. Other than that, have a great day. Bye.